public comment, now is the time. So with that in mind, we have one speaker card so far, and that is for Audit LA, is the name listed, and it's, if you can come forward and provide public comment. And also on our agenda, I would just note while we're getting set up for public comment that we do welcome and appreciate written public comment. There's a link of how to do that on our agenda. So at any time anyone wants to provide us with public comment in writing, please do so.
Do you want me to hold it?
It also can be done to supplement any oral public comment. Welcome.
Thank you. I've been here once before. I appreciate you. But I'm here, I have another ethics concern, and it's a lobbying concern. I've been here before. I speak against the abuses of the Church of Scientology and their different abuses. But right now, they are trying to get a street vacation, and they hired Bill Delvac as their lobbyist. And I believe they are also listed as lobbyist. My biggest concern is that they are submitting through their attorney, Bill Delvac, to like the city attorney, absolute provable lies that the Church of Scientology is saying. And I find it, like, I was shocked that the stuff they are saying as a lobbyist for Scientology that are absolutely in error, wrong, proven wrong in court. There's been no, like they're saying the protesters are a bunch of criminals and a bunch of, that they try to run down their people, all this nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Every judge agrees. They've thrown out every attempt of trying to put crimes on any protester or any restraining order. Yet that they hire, because they're not getting anywhere with their attorney, Kendrick Moxon, and he keeps losing to, even though the protesters don't even have a lawyer half the time, he still loses because it's all, no, there's no facts. There's nothing to back it up because the only people getting injured and hurt and harmed are the protesters. And so they hired this Bill Delvac to help them with different things like the street vacation and to help try to mitigate, because they have all these planters that are illegally placed and they're not ADA compliant. And I believe that's what I was here before talking about. They're still there, by the way, since June. But he is submitting as a lobbyist absolute lies that have been proven to be lies as if they're true to the city attorney. And I resent that because it could possibly ruin my reputation with the city attorney, because they are putting me as a main agitator, because I am here to defend the ADA community and to defend the children survivors that have gotten out of the cult of Scientology and that don't have a voice, or they have a voice but they can't come here and speak it to you. And because I am an advocate, I am being targeted, and they are using one of the biggest attorneys in LA to intimidate me. And I think it's very unethical that he doesn't first find out his facts, because and find out first whether or not all the stuff he's submitting about me and others, it's not just me, it's about all the protesters, is true. And because it's not. And I would like to file a formal complaint against him. And I would like to file and if they are lobbyists themselves, the Church of Scientology, I'd like to file a formal complaint against them. And I would consider, if there's any, if I could, I would like to even possibly sue for defamation, because it is wrong, and lobbyists should not be allowed to do that. They should not be allowed to spread lies or things that innuendos and just labeling people with something that's not true. I am not, they're saying I'm not harassing anyone. I'm advocating for the ADA community and for victims. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I have not aware of anyone else in the room who's requesting to speak. So with that in mind, we will then now turn to any remote public comment. If you have called the public comment line, you need to raise your hand virtually to speak, and you do that by pressing *9. And then you'll be recognized by our meeting moderator, Mr. when it's your turn to speak. And when you are recognized, because you're on the phone, please be very clear and slow with saying your name and which agenda items you want to comment on, so we can receive your public comment.
Thank you. We have 3 hands raised for public comment. Caller ending in 386, you'll be prompted to unmute. Please press *6 to unmute. Please clearly state your first and last name and the items you'll be speaking on.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please clearly state your first and last name and the items you'll be speaking on.
Yes, public comment on all items, and this is Film the Police USA at protonmail.com. And I just want to start off by saying thank you to the president of this commission. He is the only one that can actually run a sane, non-clown based commission meeting of all the city government meetings I've seen so far. So hats off to you, sir. I just want to jump right into it. Bill Delvac, outright character assassination and slander. And if he thinks that he doesn't have a lawsuit coming towards him, you better think again. We want to talk about victims of Scientology and their collusion, especially around real estate. Let's talk about the East Hollywood bid that happened this week. All right, you have Scientologist Susanna Furios, as well as Jeff Zarinum, who's a Scientology simp, canceling the meeting without due notice, claiming it was a bad Zoom link, which I've never seen happen, giving no proper notice, and for all the public knows, continuing to have an East Hollywood bid meeting. How is that even allowed and not a clear violation of the Open Meetings Act and the Brown Act? How? How is that allowed? How is that allowed and not a criminal act by that board in which an OSA member, a top-ranking Scientologist, Susanna Furios, is a part of? And Jeff Zarinum continues also to show hostility to any of the activists wanting to make a public comment for real estate bids, such as the Hollywood bid. They are outright misleading and lying to activists when they show up in person and make public comment, telling them this is not the room. This is not even the right room to make comment. Are you kidding me? How much more blatant does it get? But that's exactly what you can expect out of a literal domestic terrorist cult organization that was literally raided by the FBI, over 50,000 documents found, some of which included kitty porn, I might add, some of which included kitty porn, and literal collusion to destroy the U.S. government and possibly take over real estate projects. That's Scientology, and we have a lot of these people linked directly to their criminal acts. And Bill Delvac needs to be officially removed as a lobbyist. It's slander, it's character assassination. Kendrick Moxon tried doing it. He got sued, and Bill Delvac will be sued. We have right now a child who's a victim of Scientology because he's harassed by a child predator, having to stand on a trial for a bogus restraining order brought by this child predator. Him and his mother has been continually harassed and issued threats of rape and death. All right? There's another person who's also received a restraining order against the child predator because he too has been a victim of continued harassment of this known child predator. You want to talk about victims? That's who the victims are, the activists. All right? And we got to stop this clear collusion. They're using real estate projects to hold the whole real estate racket. And Jeff Zarinum and Susanna Furios are holding public meetings privately. It's disgusting. It's a clear violation of the Open Meetings Act and the Brown Act. They need to be held accountable. And there's so many other cases, such as Gabe Casares, who is the mayor of Clearwater, Florida, who went through the same crap. All right, this is not some hearsay. This is all affidavits, and the FBI themselves have found all sorts of records linking Scientology to clear criminal conspiracies and rackets. Scientology is a domestic terrorist organization, pure and simple. And one of their victims is a whole litany of children who they continue to essay and do all sorts of unspeakable things to them. You need to stop it. And all these people that are refusing to speak out, they too will have their day in court in the LA area. It's absolutely shameful. And this commission has a duty to protect victims. You know you do. You know you do. This is your commission. You have that authority. So do your job. That's all we're asking.
Okay, thank you very
Great
much.
job.
We've allowed you to go somewhat
job,
over
Henry.
time, but thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Caller ending in 017, please clearly state your first and last name and the items you'll be speaking on. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Isaac,
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
hold on.
Please state your first and last name and the items you'll be speaking on.
Sure. My name is Mona Knacklin, and I am speaking out.
Thank you. You may begin. You have 3 minutes.
They give me 3 minutes when you said this.
Thank you. I won't take up all that time. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I would like to address the commission on a possible violation of ethics in the Board of Public Works. mayor's office, and city attorney's office. I have been filing complaints with the DPW, mayor's office, and city attorney. About 250-ish planters are placed by Scientology on L. Ron Hubbard Way in Fountain. Only 2 streets that have 250 of them or so. Also, along Catalina, between Sunset and Fountain, there are 86 rose bushes. The rose bushes are beautiful, however, they are thorny vegetation, which is not compliant with city ordinance. None are with their art permits. The planters are in violation of city, state, and federal ADA codes. Not only ADA, but even folks entering or exiting their vehicles are impeded from safety. Doing that activity without the threat of being injured could be a liability for the city. I've been to every BPW meeting without fail for 8 months. Having said that, I know this commission's purview is not enforcing the violation, but it is the way that they have been handling BPW, mayor, and the city office, and it's beyond comprehensible. The perception of an unjust influence and corruption is quite evident and appalling. It is clear there might be money or coercion affecting the board or city attorney office to ignore the complaint or the process of enforcing code. They obviously could and should just remove the planters, as an example. They could build back Scientology. In addition, they could receive a Willits decision credit. As of right now, it appears to be an ethical violation, and in the least, a perceived ethical violation. I remind you that unequal enforcement, intentional or not, has been found to be discrimination in the courts of law, time and time again. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Great job, Mona.
Thank you. Caller ending in 426, you'll be prompted to unmute. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I'm new at this, so please, any patience is very greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Please,
be short and to the point.
please state your first and last name and the items you'll be speaking on.
Oh, sorry. My name is Marie Pomo. Online, I go by ICC33. I just would like to make a general comment.
Thank you. You have 3 minutes. You may begin.
Thank you. The reason I'm here, I would like to make a complaint against the Department of Public Works. It appears to me and many others that the Department of Public Works has no intention of moving the planters from the Scientology Blue Building as is required by law, as is required by the Americans with Disability Act. And it appears that they are not in compliance with the Americans with Disability Act. As well as, I'm a little perplexed by all of this biasness that is given to Scientology. Why are they not allowed to follow the laws as other citizens are? I don't understand that. And I'm also wondering, and it does appear to me that there's huge conflicts of interest with many government officials towards the Church of Scientology, where many children are suffering right now. And again, I said I'll be short and sweet and to the point. I want to know why Scientology gets special treatment. And the last thing I'm going to close with here is no more kids in Scientology. Thank you very much. I yield back my time.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. President Dar, there are no other hands raised. We may continue.
So just to make sure we're not losing if anyone in the room wishes to provide public comment, you have a moment to do so. Fill out a speaker card, and if there's anyone on the phone who is struggling with using the phone to identify themselves by raising their hand, instructions are on the agenda. I gave them out earlier. We'll wait 60 seconds just to make sure that there's no one who's having technical issues with providing public comments.